I heard recently one of the most powerful stories from the time of the Shoah, the Holocaust, of what it means to be a Jew and its relevance today. I had the privilege of being part of a Mizrahi trip to Poland and to Lithuania with members of Mizrahi in Israel and from around the world, recently returning, and it was an incredible time. But there I heard the following story that I didn't know. It was a story about the Greek Isles, where Hitler, as we know, conquered Greece and the Greek Isles. And look at the extent to which Hitler went to destroy and annihilate every Jew. He came to the island of Rhodes, and there were 1,600 Jews there in July of 1944. He sent coal barges to pick them up, that all of them would eventually be deported to Auschwitz. He then went to a nearby island called Kos, where there were 120 odd Jews, and they were also picked up. And listen to this, in Kos, they hear, the German commander there hears that in a distant island 45 kilometers away called Leros, there's one Jew, a Jew by the name of Daniel Rahamim, who had gone there for business purposes. And the whole barge turns around, travels 45 kilometers to the island of Leros to fetch one Jew in order to deport him on a 28-day journey to Auschwitz. Look at the extent to which the Germans went to find one Jew in order to meet the terrible end. What a powerful lesson for us, the value of every single Jew. That's what we learned from this week's Parasha and the whole story of Yosef and his brothers. From Parasha Vayeishev until the end of the book of Genesis, we deal with the horrific crime and the aftermath of the sale of one of the sons of Jacob. The fact that the brothers could get together and decide to give up on one of the brothers, to sell them for dead to Mitzrayim. And yet somehow these 12 brothers, the sons of Jacob, become Bnei Yisrael, the founders, the tribes of Israel. Somehow Joseph forgives the brother, his brothers, for what they did. Somehow the brothers are over to get over their tremendous issues they had with Joseph. Somehow, from last week's Parasha, Shimon and Levi and what they did to the city of Shechem, which was such a controversial thing, they are forgiven. And all of the brothers, despite everything, such difficult experiences, they eventually end up not giving up one and the other. And these 12 sit on Jacob's deathbed and become Bnei Yisrael, all 12. That, say Chazal, is what is so unique about Jacob becoming the father of all of Israel. Because Abraham had two sons, Yitzchak and Ishmael. One didn't quite make it, was discarded. Yitzchak has two sons, Yaakov and Esav. Esav is discarded in last week's Parasha. And boy, oh boy, the 12 sons of Jacob, there were so many opportunities to discard almost all of them for the sale, or Joseph, etc. Yet all of them come together. And that is the schut that Yaakov has to be Yisrael and all of Israel, Bnei Israel, that not one of the brothers, not one Jew got left behind. May we take responsibility for each and every Jew, just as the Nazis, lahavdil, didn't give up on any Jew to send them to the cruel and terrible death. So too, positively, should we take responsibility for every Jew. Et achai anochim vakesh, says Yosef. I'm looking for my brothers in our families, extended families, communities. May we all together feel the sense of kol Yisrael arevim zeh bazeh, that we're all responsible for each other, never giving up, no matter how distant, on any Jew. Shabbat Shalom.